everyone, welcome to this update video. I really hope you're doing great this morning. Now we're going to be taking a look at what is going on in the Atlantic Basin. So we have our two disturbances out there, as you can see highlighted on this graphic from the National Hurricane Center, one in the Southwest Caribbean, another well to the east of the Leeward Islands that is likely to drift generally to the west or a bit to the west-northwest. And regardless of this system developing, it could bring a pretty decent rainfall increase to parts of the Northern Caribbean. So we're going to be taking a look at the latest for the system. And as we go on to the satellite imagery here, we can see the activity going on right now. So lots of showers and thunderstorms in parts of the Caribbean and even in the vicinity of the Bahamas and near the Turks and Caicos Islands earlier as well. So there is some action out there, and even taking a closer look here at the Caribbean, we can see all this convection. So with the disturbance in the area, with all that increase in moisture, there's likely to be some periods of heavy rain today. And with those instances of heavy rain, there could even be flooding. So please keep that in mind. Please don't take any unnecessary risks if you should encounter any flood waters today, guys, because it's certainly going to be a possibility. And as I speak, let's go ahead and look at the rainfall forecast. So here we can see it. Again, we've got that frontal system within the vicinity of the Bahamas that's helping out with some showers and thunderstorms. So the area is likely to be quite active today. And as we head to Cuba, the Cayman Islands, and Jamaica as well, there's likely to be some heavy rain in parts of the islands. And as I said, that could lead to some level of flooding. So please stay safe. And towards Central America, we can also see these colorful shadings and these reds, burgundies. So rainfall amounts probably up to or just over an inch in total for today. And then down to parts of Northern South America, some scattered showers and thunderstorms will be possible. So Venezuela all the way through the Guyanas. For the ABC Islands, we're not really seeing any color, so that is indicating that, hey, it's likely to be a pretty sunny day today for the most part. Lesser Antilles, Trinidad, all the way up through Anguilla, we can see a bit of color, so there could be some passing showers at times. Similar thing for the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and parts of Hispaniola, as well as the Turks and Caicos Islands. So that is what is expected today in terms of rainfall. It's really going to be the west and even parts of the central Caribbean and up to the Bahamas that will be active. And we can see some of these more colorful shadings out here as well. That would be the rainfall associated with the disturbance out there in Vest 94L. So as it is going to be drifting to the vicinity of the Caribbean, especially as an unorganized system, it is likely to help out with the rainfall increase in the area. So let's go ahead and take a look at the system in a bit more detail. So here we've got the National Hurricane Center's graphic, and the formation chance is at a medium 50%, and it was at 60, so there's been a 10% drop off in that formation chance. So the system is going to move generally westward to the west-northwest over the course of the next couple of days, and models don't show this immediately developing into something. So if it should remain a tropical wave, just a trough, drifting towards the region, it's likely to increase the rainfall for the Northern Islands, so Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, and maybe even towards parts of the Southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and Hispaniola. There could be a rainfall increase as well. And if we should have that area of high pressure reinforcing itself, as I had mentioned yesterday, then the system could move into the Northern Caribbean, and that could bring further impacts to the region. As it pertains to what the models are showing, this is a look at the model track guidance as of the latest update. And notice that we're seeing a lot less models. So some of the models are also dropping off in terms of the system becoming anything of note over the coming days. We still have a few of them, and they're showing that general westward trajectory. And in terms of the model intensity guidance, the available models, most of them are showing that, hey, this could still become a tropical storm over the course of the next couple of days. So that still remains a possibility. And we also want to go ahead and talk about the environmental conditions. So first up, we have the dry air map. And the yellows, oranges, red shadings, those indicate the dry air. And there we've got the disturbance within that area. Now, compared to yesterday, there is a significant decrease in the quantity of dry air within the vicinity of it. So ahead of the system, there's not going to be so much dry air as what has been inhibiting development of the system. And as a result, it's going to be in a little bit more conducive environment to help out in that regard. So there's that dry air, and the wind shear, there's a bit of shear ahead of it. So conditions may become a little bit more conducive in terms of the upper level winds as well, because once they're weaker, they won't interfere much with the system trying to develop. And the sea surface temperatures are very warm, as we know, very, very warm in the Caribbean and surrounding areas. So we'll see if the disturbance decides to take advantage of the conditions, but regardless, it is likely to result in that increase in rain as we head into later this week and early next week across parts of the northern Caribbean. And of course, I'll be giving you guys more details on that as time goes by. And then as it pertains to this other disturbance in the southwestern Caribbean, the formation chance has also slightly decreased for this system. So it was at 30%, it's been decreased to 20%. So this is going to be drifting up to the north, going to the northwest and moving into Central America. So this is really what's been helping out with that increase in moisture across the region. And if it is a case where the system is going to try to take advantage of the conditions, then we could see it try to briefly form into something. But hey, the chance is very low for that to happen right now. And it is also not designated as an invest, at least not at this point in time. So if that eventually happens, where the system becomes an invest, we'll get more model data on it. We'll get the high resolution hurricane model data in terms of how strong the system could be and where it could go as well. But it doesn't matter. There's a lot of heavy rain that's already occurring in the area. So that is going to remain the trend throughout much of the week, where there's a lot of heavy rain that's being induced because of this plethora of moisture within the vicinity of the Western Caribbean. So there's still quite a bit of time to keep an eye on both of these systems. 94L, which could still make its way into the vicinity of the Caribbean and develop that dip to the southwest or the west-southwest, is still going to be possible dependent on the pressure systems out there, which I had highlighted in yesterday's video. And then with that Caribbean disturbance, land interaction is going to be a big deal, because if that airflow pressure interacts a lot with land, that is going to be an inhibiting factor as it pertains to development, because it's when the system is fully over water, those very warm waters and other conditions are conducive, that's the most ideal environment for development. So we'll see what happens. But again, as I said, rainfall threat's still going to be a problem regardless of what happens with the system. And if you're curious in regards to the next two names that are on the list for the hurricane season, they would be Nadine and Oscar. So I will see if these systems will try to become, or even at least one of these systems will try to develop into something and acquire a name from the list. But yeah, this is essentially what I wanted to share with you guys in this update video. So I hope you found it to be informative. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will respond to you when I can. And remember to always be weather-wise.